The Big Ticket is sponsored by East Penn Sports Medicine. Injured at work or play? Help is minutes away. At East Penn Sports Medicine, we specialize in sports-related and industrial injuries. Board-certified orthopedic surgeons evaluate your condition. Physical therapists administer state-of-the-art procedures, helping you return to normal activity quickly and efficiently. We'll even help you condition your body to prevent future injury. For comprehensive treatment of sports-related and industrial injuries, visit East Penn Sports Medicine, 4 miles north of the 25th Street exit of Route 22.
Good evening, I'm Doug Wright, this is Jeff Fisher, and we've got a big show for you tonight, not in quantity, but instead in quality. A couple of big games involving two teams from our area ranked in the top 10, Central Catholic and CB West. We're going to start off with the Vikings, the number 3 team in the land. This is 3. I think I had a 4 up there. 3 team in the land. We're taking on Unionville tonight out of District 1.
Yeah, you know, it's the first step to its second state championship for the Vikings, and they came in against a team that, in all honesty, they know that they should go out and beat badly. Unionville comes out of District 1. They lost 3 times this year. They had a tie. To be honest, District 1 has 3A teams, so somebody had to come out of there and play in it because the new state playoffs entitles every district champ to come out. So they came out. They only had 26 players on the team. My alma mater, Wilson, which is a 2A school, has 28 players on its team, so they were a little undermanned tonight.
Yeah, how do you figure that? A lot of people said going into this game that Central Catholic might be its own worst enemy in this game, coming off the 2 emotional wins over Becca High, with this game sandwiched between a possible rematch with Berwick. We'll talk about that game in just a bit. But first, let's get clued in on what happened tonight between Central Catholic and Unionville. Al Ganoza has our game story.
After 2 straight games of the century, maybe there was a concern that Central might have come out maybe just a little bit emotionally flat. Well, I won't say whether they did or not, but the emotion was not needed tonight. It was just business as usual. You know, Unionville may have read about Central Catholic, but I don't think there was anything in their league that might have prepared them for this team, especially its ravenous defense, and how ironic the lights go out now. Central's defense put the lights out tonight early on. Central would run through things all night long. They open up the scoring with 5:39 left in the first quarter. Rashawn Drayton on the 1-yard touchdown run, 7-0, 9-play, 52-yard drive. Then Nate Davidson gets into the end zone with 41 seconds left in the quarter. His 3-yard run makes it 14-0 Central. And, of course, the defense, they stop the run. That's Harold Fairclough stacking up the runner. And they stop the pass. A lot of interceptions tonight for Central Catholic. That's Fran Volpe picking this one off. He may go, but he won't go. But it would set up a touchdown in the second quarter. That's Davidson again, left side, this time 7 yards for the touchdown, 27-0 Central. Closing minute of the first half, Rashawn Drayton punches it across to the 1, and there's some pushing and shoving. Well, we get some emotion, 34-0 Central going into halftime. The second half saw more of the same. The Vikes come right out of the locker room, go right in the end zone. Fran Volpe gets the touchdown, 41-0. Then Mike Ceramelli makes a nice run up the middle. Central beats Unionville tonight, 54-0.
You know, it's never tough to get up for a big football game. You know, right now we're in the midst of the states, and we got Berwick next week. This is a big game for all of us. We want to come in with an attitude that we were stepping up. We were trying to play better, be a better ball club for next week.
Yeah, it wasn't tough getting up for them at all. We just came out like it was any other game and just stayed up, prepared for next week. We played really well. We shut them out, and that usually doesn't happen in state playoff games. But yeah, we missed a lot of tackles, you know, and that's what we have to work on. Go back to the fundamentals this week and just come out ready to play next weekend.
So, guys, it was just business as usual. Central's defense laying down another goose egg, and the offense putting 54 points on the board. You know, the coaches, they had to find something to holler about. They're trying to get this team up for what is almost certainly going to be a tougher game next week. Reporting from Bethlehem, this is Al Ganoza for the Big Ticket.
All right, thanks, Al. Hey, no letdown tonight by Central Catholic. I don't think Jim Morgan would let this team let down.
No, Jim was really pumped. I was down there on Wednesday. It was a mucky day. It was raining and all that. And we got there with Steve Maciolo, the camera and I guy, are setting up, and these guys are hopping over each other playing leapfrog.
What's that all about?
Yeah, we kind of said, what's going on here, Games? But Jim said we were trying to do things, coming off the emotional wins over Becca, to kind of break the usual drudgery of practice, and it seems to have worked. I mean, Jim knows what this team has to do in the States. He was there last year, so he knows how to make it fun for the kids.
We know one thing. Next week's opponent for Central Catholic is going to be tougher than the team they played tonight. It's going to be either Berwick or North Pocono. Those two teams play tomorrow afternoon.
And, of course, everybody wants the Bulldogs back. The Bulldogs have that reputation. But the thing, if Central does play Berwick, the thing that I think about is the mystique. When you play a Berwick, you have to also beat the mystique. They did that last year. Berwick's just another team. But I wouldn't look past North Pocono if I were the Bulldogs. North Pocono beat them 3 years ago for the district championship. They could do it again.
Should be an interesting contest. Of course, everybody looking forward to it. A lot of people consider these two teams two of the best teams in the nation. I remember what happened last year. Central Catholic beating Berwick up at Lackawanna County Stadium en route to that state title. They liked nothing more than another shot. Berwick would at Central.
That'd be great. You know, we'd love to play them again, but if it's not Berwick or North Pocono, whoever they play, you know, we'll just prepare for whoever comes at us.
You know, Berwick, we take it one game at a time, but Berwick's been in the back of our minds, you know, all year long. They're a great ball club. You know, they keep winning. They have a winning tradition, and I really look forward to next week. I look forward to what they have for us.
And there's the matchup for next Friday. Central Catholic against the winner of Berwick and North Pocono. That game will be played tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock in Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, like I said, North Pocono has a real good shot in this one, but Central Catholic, that's 26 in a row. Talk about the Berwick mystique. I think Central Catholic may now have the mystique Berwick once had.
Hard to argue that one. Another East Penn Conference team is still hoping to get to the state playoffs. Liberty will take on Pleasant Valley. That will be in the District 11 4A championship game tomorrow.
Yeah, Liberty has a lot of things to do here. They had a season where they were ranked high in our poll early on. They got out to a great start, but they stumbled over the last half of the season. They've got some great balance there in the backfield. A-Star Lung, Jeremy Blackwood, John Lehman at quarterback. This is a team, when you look at the 7-4 record, you say, well, maybe not one of the best, but I think they will surprise some people and play a very good game against Pleasant Valley tomorrow.
For Liberty, a trip to the States would pretty much turn around what's been an up-and-down year, maybe even disappointing season in the East Penn Conference. 500 record there at 4-4. However, Pleasant Valley won't be a pushover after its impressive win over the Whitehall Zephyrs last week.
They have a good running attack, though. I also saw some game films on them where they threw the ball very well, particularly in the Parkland game. They threw the ball short at Parkland, and I talked to some other coaches, and they're balanced. They threw the ball well against Whitehall too. They run the veer, and they do it very well.
What are some of the things you're working against as far as what you're going to see defensively from the Bears tomorrow night? What are you going to see from them?
Well, mainly we're just, me personally, I'm reading a linebacker, I guess, to see if I'm going to call a check off or not, because there's a couple of plays where I'm going to be checking off, and it'll adjust to the pass, or maybe I'll keep the run or go with the run instead of the pass.
What do you think the turning point in the season was? You hit the end of the year where you guys lost a couple of games. What do you think was the big turnaround?
Probably the Freedom game where we just blew them out and gave us a lot of confidence heading towards playoffs.
Should be a dandy game up in Broadheadsville tomorrow night. That may be the advantage. The Bears in the home field. The winner of the District 11 championship goes against the District 1 champ.
Nice segue, because we're going to have highlights of that District 1 championship game. The number 2 team in our poll and the number 10 team in our country, CB West, took on Downingtown tonight in a battle of undefeated teams. Highlights of that one and a surprising finish coming up next.
Injured at work or play? Help is minutes away at East Penn Sports Medicine. We specialize in sports-related and industrial injuries. Board-certified orthopedic surgeons evaluate your condition. Physical therapists administer state-of-the-art procedures, helping you return to normal activity quickly and efficiently. We'll even help you condition your body to prevent future injury. For comprehensive treatment of sports-related and industrial injuries, visit East Penn Sports Medicine, 4 miles north of the 25th Street exit of Route 22.
Since 1884, Lehigh University has battled Lafayette College on the gridiron. 129 meetings. Join us tomorrow for the 130th meeting of college football's most played rivalry. Defending Patriot League champs, the Lehigh Engineers take on the Leopards from Lafayette for the '94 crown. This one's sure to be a good one. Our coverage starts at 12:30 tomorrow for the pregame show with hosts Doug Wright and Jeff Fisher. Immediately followed by The Game at 1, right here on WFMZ-TV.
Welcome back to the show. Well, Central Catholic, the number 3 team in the nation, did their job tonight, winning over Unionville. But CB West, number 2 in our poll, number 10 in the nation, had a very tough test tonight in the District 1 championship game for Class 4A. They took on another undefeated team in the Whippets of Downingtown.
You stole my name. I love the Whippets. That is the nickname in Pennsylvania as far as I'm concerned. But you're right. Downingtown, a very good team, and there were a lot of people in southeastern Pennsylvania saying this was not a cakewalk for the Bucks. And, of course, they wanted to get back to the final, as you discussed on the 10 o'clock news, to get back at North Hills. Well, we'll see how they do on that road.
Dave Lesko made the trip down to War Memorial Stadium. He has the game wrap-up for us.
A lot was on the line tonight at War Memorial Stadium. Favorite CB West would strike first midway through the opening quarter. A 1-yard sneak by quarterback Ben Snyder put the Bucks up 7-0. West would drive again into Downingtown territory, but linebacker Dan Ellis says the Bucks stopped here. Coming up with the fumble recovery, the Whippets would not score any points on this turnover, but their next possession proved to be more fruitful. Number 21, Bryn Boggs, would open the gate and flood deep into Bucks territory. It would take only 2 plays. Sean Ruffin would cap the drive with his sprint to the end zone. With 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the half, the Whippets and the Bucks were tied at 7 apiece. The rains began and CB West could not meet the conditions. As usually reliable running back Bill Lowe was held to short yardage tonight. With 15 seconds left in the half, Downingtown would borrow one from the pros, as quarterback Mike Dominic hands to Matt Winkler, who fires a 50-yard bomb to the awaiting hands of Aaron Harris. The textbook flea flicker put the Whippets up 14-7 at the half. A drive midway through the third quarter saw CB West driving into Whippet territory. But on a gutsy 4th and 3, Bryn Boggs comes up with the INT. CB West would have another chance in the 4th. The opening drive ate up about 5 minutes. This upcoming sack of quarterback Ben Snyder would help kill their drive and their dreams of the 1994 District 1 championship. Can you spell upset? Downingtown holds off CB West tonight, 14-7. In Doylestown, I'm Dave Lesko for the Big Ticket.
Thanks a lot, Dave. A shocking upset. Downingtown over CB West. The Bucks, number 10 in the nation, their season comes to an end.
The upset heard around the world, well, at least around the state, because they were number 1 in 4A. Everybody expected them to go back. And again, I don't think it's a surprise. Ask Alganoza over at Bethlehem School District Stadium tonight. He said Downingtown is going to win. But, again, you have to give credit to the Bucks. Year in and year out, they're there for the championship.
Got to give a lot of credit to Mike Pettin's team. Now it sets up a different matchup than maybe the winner of Liberty and Pleasant Valley was expecting. They probably thought they'd have to go against CB West next. Now it's going to be Downingtown. All that scouting they probably did, right out the window.
Dick Ortwine from Liberty was down there tonight, and Dick said, if we win tomorrow night and we get one of these 2 teams, doesn't matter. We're going to throw out the record. It doesn't matter what we do against them. We're just going to go out and try and beat them. Yeah. And Dick Ortwine's real happy that he's going to get the opportunity should he win tomorrow night.
Yeah, first thing first, though. One more game we want to talk about before we go here on the Big Ticket, the Eastern Conference 1A championship game between Pius X and Minersville. Should be a good one tomorrow.
That's the Eastern Conference 1A championship, and Pius X, a very good year. They're at 9-2. They beat Loyal Sock last week. Tony Menicola, a great field goal kicker for them. He has 10 field goals this year, one of them 50 yards in length. This is a game that they could have won the Mid-10 Conference championship with against Jim Thorpe, and they blew a 24-7 lead and ended up losing in the 4th quarter, 27-24. They have Steve Smith at fullback, and they also have a very, very good quarterback. We'll hear a lot from him next year because he's only a junior. Phil Stanball, he's just shy of the 2,000-yard passing mark for the year. Pius X in Minersville, last 2 years, Minersville has beaten the Royals.
Yeah, but this year, Minersville was not on the schedule, and Pius X probably chomping at the bit to get a chance at Minersville again tomorrow. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Big Ticket. Our last show, unfortunately, we had a lot of fun bringing it to you the past, 10 weeks or so. I want to thank a lot of the people that helped put this show together. Director Mike Katz, one of our producers, Mike Pisano. Let me read a list of photographers that shot all this outstanding video we had for you all year long. Noel Kratzer, Steve Gardner, Steve Matziolik, Andy Sikowski, Chris Griss, and Tom Durant. For somebody else out there that shot some video for us, and I missed your name. Hey, thanks anyway. Also, Tim Oakley for setting up this beautiful set here. All the schools for sending in all this paraphernalia we had in the background. Also, I don't want to forget about Ed Golden, who works out here on one of the cameras in the studio. I didn't forget anybody, did I?
Great job, everybody. Double thumbs up.
All right, thanks a lot. Hey, stay with us throughout the rest of the season. Of course, we've got Lehigh Lafayette college football tomorrow, and we may be jumping on some of these games in the state playoffs for live coverage. So keep it tuned here to Channel 69. Thanks a lot for joining us. Have a good night.
Good night.